If one were to ask an Iolan where they hail from, they'd be told Elesaan, which is a floating city that strikes awe and curiosity in most everyone that gazes upon it. Much of Elesaan is shrouded in mystery, from how it's able to stay afloat to how it was made. Some say that the minor god known as Feox, who is mistakenly believed to be the creator of the Iolan race, made the city before he succumbed to Mavala's taint. Others say that it's a remnant of debris from when Aida and the others created Esma's lands on top of the corpse of Salen, their parent. However it came to be may forever remain a mystery, much like many other oddities on Esma. What is known is that the city has been around since the several hundred years past prelude cycle, with the avian-esque Iolan folk seemingly watching over the world below, as they call all lands outside of the city, from perhaps the grandest perch of all. In terms of outward appearance, the sections that make up the city sit upon 4 bridged and massive boulders of varying shape and size, surrounded by dozens of smaller boulders with steel rods placed in them which extend away from the city. Their purpose is to draw lightning bolts away from the city during a storm, as Elesaan's unique state makes repairs difficult. The southernmost district is called the Processing District, and its purpose is twofold. It logs all arrivals to the city, new or otherwise, and the sky cells there house the city's low to medium level prisoners of all races, Iolan or no. Though it may seem strange to place an Iolan in a half-open jail cell, considering they just fly away, this is an unfounded concern. Due to Feox being influenced by the presence of Movala right before the Iolan were created, that ultimately resulted in Iolan wings being nothing more than a vestigial organic decoration, and the sky cells cruelly mock them by forcing them to view the vast blue sky but they'll never have a chance to fly in and free themselves of consequences. Next up is the Market District, the centermost district out of the 4 and connecting itself from and to the others. It contains inns, taverns, and many shops and stalls of mostly Iolan goods, though considering how the city remains above, and politically aligned to, Verzoza, imported goods from there could also be found. One could hardly walk more than a few steps without running into someone advertising or trading goods. The rightmost district is the Residential District, and the purpose of this 2-level district is self-explanatory. The clean homes on the upper level organized in a neat, symmetrical fashion, somewhat reflecting the social status of those who live there, not possessing a way of living befitting a noble, nor bottom of the barrel befitting someone down on their luck. The underground lower level is the expected opposite. The few citizens and homes there have a hint of hopelessness about them, with despair and regret being the emotions that accompany them from one day to the next. There's also rumors of the deeper inner workings of the city being able to be accessed from there, beyond the city sewers. Only the Grand Aves who watches over the city and their entourage knows what lies down there, as all who wind up going down there are never seen or heard of again. Perhaps this is a mercy. The Perch District is the remaining one, and it's not surprising that the Grand Abbas of Elesaan watches over the city from here. Appropriately enough, the building granted to their status towers over the rest of the buildings in the Skybound city. This district also houses a few other types of buildings, one of which is a prison for higher-level criminals in the city. Another such building is the Guard Barracks, which also has a large training yard that sees daily usage. One can often hear the loud clanking and clashing of iron and steel throughout the day in this district. Lastly, the higher-class citizens of Elesaan reside in homes befitting their status. Though certainly not without its own set of problems, life in Elesaan makes for an interesting experience no matter how it's spun. It's not every day one can live on a floating city, after all. Another interesting thing to note is that lately, there has been a strange sound echoing around the city itself, and then the skies around Wyvern back down on Verzoza. The sound doesn't occur often, only once or twice every few weeks and lasting for a few minutes whenever it does occur. Most who hear it describe it as an electrifying howl. Any attempts to find the origin of the sound are so far rendered moot due to the seldom occurrence of it. Figuring out its strange origins is simply off the cards for now.